I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Agenda item 3, roll call.
Oh, everybody checked in on their screens?
All right.
We're not used to it.
Quorum's present. Quorum's present.
Agenda item 4, public comments. Comments from the public are allowed in accordance with the Louisiana Fire Statute 42:11, Section 2 through 34, and specifically limited to agenda items to be considered during the meeting. 3 minutes per person and 15 minutes per topic. I guess we don't have a agenda item for public hearing.
We just opened the public hearing.
All right, you got Mr. Robinson and Mr. Jules.
All right, thank you. All right, public hearing to obtain views regarding the adoption of an ordinance to extend the Sunday closing hours for bars within the city from 10 p.m. to midnight. The floor is open for anyone from the public who wishes to be heard. No one wants to be heard. We close the public hearing. Agenda item 5, consider adoption of an ordinance amending the City of Port Allen Code of Ordinance to extend the Sunday closing hours of bars within the city limits from 10 p.m. to midnight. Ordinance number 9 of 2023. Mr. Joseph.
An ordinance of the City of Port Allen amending Section 10-32 prohibited acts of license and permits of establishments changing the closing times of bars within the city limits from 10 p.m. to midnight on Sundays and related matters.
Nobody want to speak? I entertain a motion.
I motion. Second.
Got a motion by Councilwoman Lacy, second by Councilwoman Gordon. Any objections? Hearing none.
Before we make this vote, being that Ms. Worthy was the one who brought this matter, I went a little further just to speak to law enforcement, just to see if everything had been done well with your establishment and everything was fine, no disturbances with your establishment. So keep up the good work. Thank you. And the Zachary Cafe say they employ the city police, correct?
Yeah, we haven't had any problems since Dagger shop had police security there. Everything's been good. I checked with Officer Dave, everything's fine.
Yeah, I talked to Mr. Mike.
I want a button.
Okay, we just do a vote.
Ms. Gordon?
Yes.
Mr. Hubble?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Lacy?
Yes.
Mr. Riviere?
Yes.
Item passes.
Thank you. Next agenda item, public hearing to obtain views regarding the adoption of an ordinance to amend the City of Port Allen General Fund budget for fiscal year 2023-2024 to cover the costs and expenses associated with purchase of body cameras and tasers totaling $20,000. Anyone from the public wish to be heard on this agenda? $22,000. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Agenda item 6, consider adoption of an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2023-2024 City of Port Allen's general fund budget of the police department to purchase new body cameras and tasers, ordinance number 10 of 2023. Mr. Joseph?
An ordinance of the city of Port Allen amending the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget of the revenues, expenditures, and fund balances of the city of Port Allen General Fund to purchase tasers and body cameras for the police department in the amount of $22,000.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Riviere, second by Councilwoman Gordon. Any objections? Hear none?
Ms. Gordon,
Yes.
Mr. Hubble,
Yes.
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Lacy,
Yes.
Mr. Riviere.
Yes.
Item carried.
Thank you. Public comments, public hearing to obtain views regarding adoption of an ordinance for redistricting of the city of Port Allen for the purpose of election and representation. Floor is open for anyone in the public wish to make a comment on the agenda item. Officer, state your name.
Good evening, everybody. Brian Robinson. I just want to know if there's any information anywhere on how you are you redividing the city districts? Are the numbers changing in each district? How
Yes,
was
sir.
it done? I may have missed it somewhere.
Yeah, we had at the last public hearing, but Mr. Floyd's here to.
To detail all that.
No problem.
Numbers and stuff. Anybody else got a copy of it? Yes.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. The map and the stats were emailed to you, I think it's May 25th. And they've been on display, I left them here last week. What's going on is that after every census, each governmental entity must review the impact of the census on your current districts. And it's called benchmark plan. And when the 2020 census is applied to your current plan, the deviation is 18.06%, which is above the 10% level that's acceptable with state and federal law. With that, we've had workshops with each city council member and did an option plan that if you wanted one done. And as a result, I think it was 3 plans done. In reviewing those plans, and a combination of those plans, the AA plan was created. And that's what's before you today, and for the public. So this is the current plan that was adopted in 2012, and this is the proposed redistricting plan that's being set to be adopted tonight, AA. And the demographics of the plan is what's before you, what I call population summary. So it was the option of the city council to at least change or do change within the guidelines for your redistricting. And Plan AA meets all federal and state requirements. So it's here tonight. for adoption. And I'll answer any questions, or if the public would like time to look at the difference in the plan. But it is different from the current plan based on input from the city council members. And I'll stand for any questions or so, but let me just say this. The 2020 was a tough census situation for census taking. It was during COVID-19, so throughout the state, because my wife and I, we worked for 40 plus government entities. It's been an undercount based on the 2020 census, but this is the count as reflected with the 2020 census for the city of Port Allen. And this plan AA meets state and federal requirements. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any other questions from the public?
Is this correct? District 1, 2? Who's District 1? That's you, Charlene.
Yes, sir.
District 2. 4.
Mr. Floyd.
Yes.
Hey, I guess my question is, what's the most important thing is, when you are redrawing your districts, to me, it's my thought, keep the city as close to you can as your current boundaries, without just totally redrawing every district. And if I look at the benchmark and then look at yours, the whole city is just almost like completely changed. And my proposal, I expressed my thoughts to a couple of the council members. To me, it's very conservative, but there's only one block in the whole city that would be forced to change their district. To me, that's the most important thing. As long as the proposal falls into the deviation, that to me that should take precedent over just. It's almost like a gerrymandering type situation with what your proposal AA is.
Well, let me just say this. This is my 5th census. I've been doing it since 1980. And I've seen conservative, and I've seen a new council do a new district. Just so happened, my wife and I, we worked up in Caddo. I think Caddo is the 3rd largest parish in the state. And we did the school board with 12 members, and we did the commission. And the school board elected to do, I guess, minimal, but the parish commission that we just finished a couple of months ago elected to do change, like this. So the options before the city council in 2010, 2012 had different council members and different options. And this council is not tied to it. It could very well have done, I think, HR if they elected to do it. But it seemed like the consensus of Plan BB and CL was to be, I guess, more reflective of it, of the city by doing changes, and they elected to do it within the bounds. So I don't know about, I've seen when you don't like something, it's a gerrymander, but if you like something, it's a council. So yeah, you very well could have been Plan HR as an option, but it seems like it was a consensus to do reflective of Plan AA. So it was created similar to what CL and BB was. And I think I said that at the last meeting. Yes, HR would have been, but this plan is a reflection, the current plan is a reflection of the city council and the members of the city council.
So I'll direct a question directly to the fellow city council members. I'm more worried about my constituents, and keep some continuity, because what's the old saying, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. And our districts, I'm comfortable with my district. Charlene, I love, Brandon.
I got some complaints. Technically, right where I grew up at, that's where my parents still stay. they're not in my district, but I still get the calls from them, even though I'm on the south side of the street and on the same side of the street that you are. So to me, I'm just deal with how the constituents come, so I don't have a problem with it.
I mean, I get calls citywide too, I think all of us do.
I think the main goal is that we stay within the guidelines and the deviation, and that map is a reflection of that, as well as voter privileges and voter possibilities. And that map also reflects that. And I understand that the map, the benchmark was with a council with different demographics. This council also have different demographics.
It's time to change, population has changed.
Change is inevitable. And that's just probably where we at with that. It's pretty nice, it's not much.
It's not the same city. Port Allen doesn't look the same as it did 20 years ago. Demographics change, we growing, so.
Well, you had a 241 difference between 2010 and 2020. Again, I don't think that's
241.
240.
So 241 people have moved out of Port Allen.
Yes. So
10 years.
In 10 years, so I don't see where the drastic changes are needed in the redrawing. And I mean, I don't want
But we also had new people come in.
Right, we have a whole subdivision coming.
this.
You know,
This
even though
this is the
so
number
that's not
that's
included.
reflected in here.
right, well, it's,
Okay.
you know,
Now.
it was a snapshot. We're still growing at this moment, and we should look forward to growth. We shouldn't expect to be in the same city we was.
One at a time.
We shouldn't be in the same city. We shouldn't expect to be the same city we was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. We should be looking for growth, and we know we're growing. So
Now, looking at the plan AA, and I'm just going by the numbers here and the way it's written, you have a total percentage of 60.01% black, 33.99% white. Now,
is that a problem?
I'm reading off of this. Can I read it?
Yeah, I was just asking, like, what's the
Okay.
problem?
Let me get through them and tell you. Okay, so you've got, if you're talking about disproportional, if you take 2 and 3, how disproportional is number 1 and 4? I mean, there wasn't a whole lot done there, but when you took 2 and 3, it was like in a crosshair, and we took that off, and we totally flip-flopped that. And what you're doing, in all reality, is you're taking, and you know, I'm not trying to make anybody mad here or anything. I'm just reading off the column. You have the black column, and then you have the white column, and each district, you're disenfranchising 33.99% because you're skewing the numbers. And you know, I don't get that.
Thank you, ma'am.
I mean, do we understand that District 1 has more blacks in it and District 4 has more blacks in it? Like, it was no other way for there's no way, even if we took from District 1 and skewed it to District 2, it still was gonna be more blacks populated.
Right, because I already did have that.
So for to give it equal, for to give some type of voter privileges, you would have to bring blacks into District 2 and District 3. Cause, I mean, even if you took out of them, it still was gonna be more, when you look at it.
I think it's more balanced to the table. You know, because yeah, I was a majority so-called black district, so I was at 80%, and now I'm down 5%. So, but overall, like above me, I'm not so interested in what I personally want compared to what the city should actually be reflected as, or you know.
And even if we go with HR, I might have 77% black anyway. I have more than I have with AA.
Right. So I think it's more balanced. I mean, the goal is to be 50% across the board. If the city is 50%, it should reflect 50%.
The city is 60, 34.
So if it's 60, but the goal is to balance it out, right? What I'm saying, the goal is to balance it out. You know, 50-50. We want to be a balanced scale. So I mean, for me to be down to 75%, that gives more elsewhere to balance the scale out.
Well,
Maybe in years to come, we'll get more whites because
Or anybody.
reside. I mean, that mean we could probably move it a different way, but right now, the numbers stand as they are according to the census.
that's the census numbers, that's not the redrawn, the census doesn't redraw.
I mean, well, we had a lot of opportunity. Mr. Floyd been working on this plan for a lot of time, and it looked like we should have waited till tonight to have all these conversations.
And
So
he came back twice.
I motioned it.
And he came back, to talk to us again as well.
You had till June 19th, 2024.
Mr. Clyde, actually.
Yes, sir.
One question, you said for the purpose of election, for the new subdivision on Court Street, recall, wasn't that part of the city? How's that going to be?
I haven't been developed yet, so it has no
But they-
effect on this.
For the next year's elections, if we don't want to.
Yeah, but it's still not gonna have any reflection on the redistricting because there is nobody in that.
So what will you do next year? Yes. Well,
You won't,
people that
we
move
won't
in,
do nothing until the next census.
so they won't be in the next count for the next election?
I can answer that. Yes, what happened is when it comes down to adding a new subdivision, registered voters will put it in the nearest district.
Okay.
Because that's happened, across the country, because the census is a snapshot of April 1st, 2020, and people lived and died, it was born after that, and it was just a
So
question
they'll
of,
go into,
yeah, whatever the closest district is. The rest of
they'll
them
have one.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But then again, we have to redistrict.
No, there's no change in it, no, this is based on the 2020, so there's no adjusting the lines until,
Next census.
you're right.
2030.
April 1st, 2030 will be the snapshot, and you redistrict when the numbers get to the president test at the end of the year. So this is a snapshot, what you go with is the best numbers run. Somebody was born on April 2nd, somebody died on April 2nd, but it all counted on April 1st, 2020.
State your name.
I'm looking at the
State your name.
1, 4, and 3.
State your name.
1, 4, and 3.
State your name. For the record.
And my name, Frederick Everson.
Okay. Mr. Evans.
Where are the businesses at 1, 3, and 4? I'm looking at number 2 looks like to me, all of your businesses is in the District 2. All the businesses. So these other places don't have no businesses of some kind in that district? So if you are out of that area, if you ever have all the businesses, you're out of order going into another area soliciting for work. You guys got to be able to go somewhere where you have business at. I need a job, we need to talk to someone. You can go in his area talking to someone for a job for me in your area.
Why not?
I mean, you could, but it wouldn't be protocol. If that's what I was told, y'all call it protocol. All I'm saying is, maps should be drawn some kind of way for some businesses. Charlene needs some business. This lady needs some business. You need some. Where you could go to those businesses and solicit work or make some kind of recommendation for work of some kind. All the businesses right here, all of them. So if I want a job or want somebody to speak on my behalf, and it go to you or you. I have to go to her. That don't make sense to me.
I mean, you could go to that large number.
No, y'all don't call it. I know what you're saying, but I like to see some businesses, this lady, well, across the law. I like to see some business in your location and this garden location. And you guys saying you don't think so?
I mean, what we gonna put them at? If we gonna talk about what we put them in my district, what would you put?
What businesses you have in your district?
Where would we put them?
Huh?
Where would we put them? If we looking for,
Where would you put it?
Yeah.
What you mean?
Outside of a home-based business, where would you put a new business in my
I ain't
district?
talking about no new business. I'm talking about the one that existed.
So Portmore, Westside Lumber, what other?
That's not even in your district.
What that is?
You don't have one business in your district.
So
which business is in your district of the day? What business is that in your district And what business does in the
Outside of the
Charlene
city.
District?
I don't even have a
You
school
should
system.
know that.
Yeah, don't have a school system.
You should know that. You don't have none.
So what you recommend? What you think? What's the
I'm
solution?
recommending that you guys do something. You
What's the
and
solution?
Mr. Gardner, I don't have a recommendation. My recommendation is for you to do something to put some kind of business when you draw this map in your location. Don't just say, boom, okay. No, you should have some type of a business in your district.
You're right. We should have some.
You should, and you can draw the
brick and
map
mortar
for
businesses.
that.
We should have brick and mortar in our business, but we do have home-based businesses.
You got what?
Home-based businesses. On like we're in a new decade.
How many home-based businesses you got? You got your business as a real estate company on Avenue C, Avenue B, period.
We got other
That's
people
your
who
business,
do-
that's all the thing you got. And that's not a
that's my-
business, that's a resident that has a business at the office in your home.
But that's mine, correct. But what else we have, you know?
How many people you hiring?
Well, I contract, you know,
How many people are you hiring?
contract, you know what I'm saying?
Contract worker.
Well, that's not a job, that's not a club. But what's the solution? What, you saying we
That's-
should draw it in,
That's
right?
for you
So-
to figure out. And then for me to say, yeah, Mr. Brown, I agree with that. No, Mr. Brown, I don't. But you have to come with that. I'm at this meeting, and the reason I didn't read the paper, I didn't check it out. Well, let's go pick up the paper every week and read it. I'm here because the councilman at large asked me to come and support her, because I knew what was going on. If you would have came who represent me and asked me to come, I would have known where you stand, how you stand. You didn't do it. I haven't seen you in 4 years since I come here. But what I'm saying is, if a councilman wants something, it seems like they could come to the area, just like they come and say, vote for me. In 4 years, every 4 years, they come say, vote for me, don't see you no more. But when something coming up, or something is important, look like you can go to your constituency, just like you come to them to ask them for the vote, and say, look, hey man, we're drawing a map, what you think?
Yeah,
You don't do that.
You're right, you know.
But you should.
We should have.
So all I'm saying is, it's up to you guys to come up with a solution, bring it to the people who you asked to vote for you, and then they have an idea of what to say. Yeah, I like that. No, I'm not.
I invite you because of his concern.
But all I'm saying is you're supposed to have a business in the
This is a
area.
place where he comes to.
Just draw a map, boom, okay. Like last time, oh, I got all these people in my area, but you can't do nothing for
Not
them.
to attack him.
Not to cut you off.
That's right. You should be able to do better than that. If you're gonna have a business, don't set all the business in one district and one district only. Business is supposed to be started out throughout.
And we have to create them. We just can't rely on them.
No,
We have to create them.
but you also have to have the ones that's already created. Just not say, oh,
Moving on.
we're gonna create some new. Even if you do create some new, where you gonna put it in your district and all of it residential?
That's what I was asking you.
Moving on.
So that was
It's 3 minutes up, I can tell you.
Oh, I ran over my
Yes,
time?
yes, sir, you did.
I thought you said
I appreciate it. Anybody else from the public wish to be heard? Okay, hearing none, we gonna close the public, comments. Proceed. With agenda item 7, consider adopting an ordinance for redistricting of the city of Port Allen for the purpose of election and representation. Ordinance number 11 of 2023. Mr. Joseph?
An ordinance of the city of Port Allen, Louisiana, approving the redistricting of the city of Port Allen for the purpose of elections and representation.
I second.
We had a motion by Councilman Brown, second by Council Lady Lacy. Any objections? Hearing none.
Ms. Gordon,
Yes.
Mr. Hubble,
No.
Mr. Brown,
Yes.
Ms. Lacy,
Yes.
Mr. Riviere.
On the grounds that I still say it's more important to keep some continuity, keep our districts like they are, and it's a wasted breath, but, you know, I vote no. And I I was not contacted about this Plan AA.
Yes, sir, I can address that. I sent it to you on May 25th.
Yeah, when we were here last time, so it didn't change from that. I met with, last Wednesday, there was no modification from what you've been having since May 25th. And that's what's sent, yes, sir. So, yeah, I would have